The lost village of the Amazon rainforest. Deep inside the Amazon rainforest, where the trees grow so tall they block out the sun. Places where maps become useless. Places where the forest itself seems to move.
Dr. Elias Vance was a biologist obsessed with finding unknown species. After years of studying rare animals, he received a mysterious package containing an old hand-drawn map. The map showed a location deep within the Amazon that wasn't marked on any modern satellite images. Attached to the map was a note written in an unknown language. But underneath the strange symbols, someone had translated one sentence. "Do not follow the lights after sunset." Elias thought it was a warning left by frightened explorers. Instead, he saw it as an invitation. He gathered a team of 5 people. Maya, a survival expert. Lucas, a drone specialist. Professor Adrian Cole, an archaeologist. Raphael, a local guide who had spent his entire life near the rainforest. And Noah, a young photographer documenting the journey. They entered the Amazon expecting to find new plants and animals. They found something much older. For the first few days, everything seemed normal. The team discovered rare insects, colorful frogs, and strange plants that looked like they belonged on another planet. But on the 5th night, they heard something outside their camp. A voice. A human voice. It sounded like a woman crying for help. "Please, someone help me." Noah grabbed his flashlight. "Did anyone else hear that?" Raphael immediately grabbed his arm. "Don't answer." The group froze. The voice came again. "Closer. Please. I'm lost." But Raphael looked terrified. Because he knew something the others didn't. The Amazon had a creature known among some tribes as the Whispering One. A creature that could perfectly copy any human voice. It didn't call people for help. It called them to their deaths. The next morning, they discovered strange footprints around their camp. They weren't human. They weren't animal. They were long, narrow marks that looked like something had dragged its fingers through the mud. Lucas checked the drone footage from the night before. At first, there was nothing. Then he noticed something. High above the trees. Something was watching them. A creature almost impossible to describe. It had the body shape of a human, but it moved like a spider. Its arms were extremely long, its skin blended perfectly with the bark of trees, and its eyes reflected the camera light like a predator in the dark. The creature disappeared before anyone could explain what they saw. But from that moment on, they knew they weren't alone. After 2 more days, the team discovered a massive stone wall covered by vines. Behind it was a forgotten civilization. A village hidden in the rainforest for hundreds of years. The buildings were covered in strange symbols. Inside one temple, Professor Cole discovered carvings showing creatures that looked exactly like the one from the drone footage. The carvings told a horrifying story. Thousands of years ago, people who lived there didn't worship gods. They feared guardians. Creatures created by the rainforest itself. The drawings showed humans trying to escape from them. But the final carving showed something worse. A creature rising from underground. Something much larger. Something that controlled all the others. Beneath the temple, the team discovered a hidden tunnel. The walls were covered with glowing plants that produced a strange blue light. The deeper they went, the stranger the creatures became. They found insects the size of dogs crawling across the walls. Fish swimming through underground rivers with glowing eyes. And strange pale creatures with no faces hiding in the darkness. Then they reached a massive chamber. In the center was a giant egg-like structure made of stone. But it wasn't stone. It was alive. It was breathing. The team realized they hadn't discovered an ancient city. They had discovered a nest. The ground started shaking. The walls cracked. Something enormous moved beneath them. A creature slowly emerged from the darkness. It was bigger than any animal they had ever seen. Its body looked like a mixture of a giant snake, an insect, and something completely unknown. Its skin was covered in ancient symbols. Its eyes opened. And when it looked at them, every creature in the jungle became silent. The team finally understood. The Amazon rainforest wasn't empty. It wasn't unexplored. It was guarded. The team ran. The tunnels collapsed behind them as the creature chased them through the underground ruins. One by one, they disappeared. Lucas lost his drone. Professor Cole stayed behind to protect the others. Maya and Elias barely escaped back into the jungle. But something followed them. For 3 days, they walked without stopping. Every night, they heard whispers. Sometimes it sounded like their friends. Sometimes it sounded like their own voices. Finally, they reached the river and escaped. When they returned to civilization, nobody believed their story. Until they showed the evidence. The photographs. The recordings. The footage. But there was one problem. Every image of the giant creature had disappeared. All except one. A single photograph taken moments before they escaped. Years later, Dr. Elias Vance still studies the Amazon. But he refuses to return. Because he discovered something terrifying. The creatures they found were not hiding from humans. Humans were the ones hiding from them. And according to the final message found on the ancient map, the lost village wasn't a warning to keep people away. It was a warning that something inside the rainforest was trying to get out. Deep in the Amazon, thousands of miles of rainforest remain unexplored. And somewhere beneath those endless trees, something ancient may still be waiting. Watching. Listening. Waiting for the next person brave enough to enter.